My name is Scott. I own Skizzle Productions. We do videos for businesses, and I came across the artlistcreativefest opportunity, so I figured I'd toss my hat in the ring. So my passions, I have a lot in life, but really making videos and then my dog are both big passions of mine. And I've been looking to kind of incorporate him in, some kind of side project, pet project, no pun intended. I always had this idea of having kind of like a buddy cop, either like film or trailer or something of that sort, where he and I are partners. And being a child of the 80s, I kind of became interested in, 80s style, things of that sort, as far as like title sequences, and then kind of delved more into like damaged VHS tape sort of, just basically screwing everything up and kind of making it look old and vintage. So that was kind of the inspiration behind it. And I felt that kind of just merging those two things was kind of an opportunity to showcase what we can do and kind of have fun with it. And the style behind it, we did shoot in HD 16:9 aspect and then edit it to 4:3 aspect ratio just to kind of give that vintage feel. And so I came up with the story idea, and then I kind of wanted to have an idea of like a kind of a commercial that's kind of like being taped over and kind of being revealed a little bit in the background. And I always kind of like that idea. And you see stuff like that on like, lost footage tapes or movies or things of that sort. So I was like, that'd be kind of a fun avenue to kind of take. And from there, we just kind of degraded the video quality to kind of just make it look like an old VHS, found film or something of that sort. We do obviously better quality work with other videos. So it was a stylistic approach to just kind of make it look awful. So there's a lot of jokes with it. There's a lot of on the surface ones, like I'm the strong silent type, but then rambling on about his fourth divorce and, the silly commercial, and obviously, a detective being paired up with an animal of some sort. That was always kind of the trope that was kind of big in the, 70s, 80s, 90s and whatnot. And so I just kind of wanted to take all that and kind of satirize it a little bit. But there's a lot of other things. I mean, everything that I did was deliberate. So for instance, you have a couple scenes that are kind of cutaways that are kind of suggesting that we're driving along. And there's two different cars. So that was kind of a choice that I made because I thought, there used to be, kind of inconsistencies sometimes. Sometimes you might see B-roll from one either movie or show up on another movie or show. So I kind of just was playing around with that. And then obviously, the shirt being open and whatnot, because everybody in the early 80s from Magnum PI to the Bee Gees had, chest hair all over the place with wide open shirts. And so all of that was just kind of like, I want to just lean into this as much as possible. The only thing that I kind of was missing was having a trucker hat for the commercial, which I really kind of wanted to have just to kind of piece it all together. But I mean, we don't have a set, and so we're kind of doing tongue-in-cheek that it's an 80s show, but there's all this other modern stuff around too. I mean, dash cam when you kind of cut away to my eyes and whatnot when we're driving along, and modern cars and whatnot on the road and everything. So I mean, in the car itself, I mean, it's a modern car, so it just kind of was a lot of these different things that we just kind of like are funny to me, and I thought it was hilarious, and I don't know if anybody else finds it funny or not. And then the other thing that I really couldn't express in the video, but I thought it was kind of funny, was this lost tape in my mind, in this world that I kind of created, was this Colt Magnuson guy. My thought was he had this commercial, and then there's the Trans Am, insert photo of Trans Am. I thought it would be funny in my mind that he's like, yeah, I got a Trans Am, I got to mention that in this commercial because I'm hot stuff, but he doesn't really have one, and so like he kind of keeps putting it off. And it's kind of one of those deep kind of like, there's no way to really kind of express it unless I did a whole video where he kind of keeps delaying and whatnot. But he gets this commercial VHS tape but then he sees that there's a trailer coming out about his show, and so he pops it in to record that, but somehow it kind of gets, you know, you still see some of the video of the commercial in the background, and so that was kind of, in my mind, granted it's all in my head and it's hard to express all that, but that was kind of something that I found just hilarious in my mind, that this guy plays himself up as being this like big star with a Trans Am and doesn't have one, and is doing this commercial, and you know, I don't know. But there's a lot of stuff in this world I think we could kind of probably in the future play off of, and you know, other trailers, or maybe kind of a behind the scenes sort of thing of who this character is and whatnot. So working with my dog, yeah, he was great. I mean, he showed up early. He learned all of his lines. I like to think that he kind of taught me just as much as, you know, I taught him. It was really a symbiotic relationship, very professional, very much, you know, willing to go the extra mile, knew his lines top to bottom and everything of that sort. I mean, so just top notch. Couldn't imagine another actor as good as him. You said that? Can we take a break? All right, I need to set the record straight. I can't believe he said that, to be honest. I mean, I can't think of anything. I mean, everything I said before is not true. He was constantly late, never knew his lines. We had this whole script printed out, and refused to learn his lines. And so we just kind of went with the approach of, well, maybe we just cut out all of his dialogue. I mean, it's a buddy cop show. Who does that? Who has a second star that just doesn't say a single word the whole time? I mean, so that was a creative choice that we had to make, because he refused to do it. And the things that he would say on set, I really can't repeat them. I mean, just throwing hissy fits all the time, growling at the crew, growling at me, you know. I mean, he had this pet name that he used to have for me, that he's instead of saying, oh, hey, Scott, you know, you run into him, he'd be like, oh, hey, it's the John. Warm it up to 98 degrees and then flip it over and shove it back. Something like that. And of course, no, I'm just joking. He's a good dog, so we got along well on set and everything, and yeah, I couldn't imagine a better dog. So yeah, overall the experience was great. I hope that everybody kind of enjoys the video. I know it's one of those things that it's like, I mean, the video is just, the quality's so poor, but that was kind of the point of it. And so it's kind of one of those things that's like, you know, I hope people kind of catch the joke, they kind of catch the references a little bit, and kind of go from there. It is something that, if you kind of look at it kind of the way that I kind of look at it, if you go back and kind of watch it again, maybe you kind of find it, you know, a little bit funnier. But yeah, overall it was a great experience. So looking forward to next year. So.